All right, what's up, companions? So here we are, episode 6. So first off, um, if you watched my last few videos, I was very wrong about the release schedule of the show. I am certainly not connected enough to have gotten the episodes early. I had read somewhere in the run up to the show coming out that it was going to be the first drop, and then that all the rest of the episodes were going to be dropped together after that. And I thought that was weird because that wasn't how they did the first season. And I thought it was a mistake. I might have even talked about it in one of my first videos. But I try very hard to avoid like reading or watching things about this show. I don't watch any of the behind the scenes stuff. I don't watch any of the, I watched one trailer before this, but I also, and then I don't read media because I just don't like how much gets revealed, even just telling me who's cast or who isn't cast, or, that kind of stuff tells me things about the plot that I don't want to know because I've read the books. So I've also been apparently very poorly informed about the release schedule. So this is I think, much more reliable and better release schedule, doing it over weeks like this. And I'm glad that I don't have to control myself, and I'll stop talking about it like I have all the episodes, because I don't. But yeah, this episode I'm pretty sure is going to be mostly about Egwene because of, again, the things I know about her story going forward. What just happened to her at the end of the last episode is very important, and it's probably going to be pretty rough. I'm very interested to see how they're going to portray it, and I'm also interested to go and watch some of the other, reaction videos and see what other people thought. Also, I meant to put this in another one of my videos, but I guess I accidentally edited it out. But if there are other reaction videos for Wheel of Time that you guys are watching that you really like, drop them in my comments so other people might be able to find them, or I might be able to find them if I'm not already watching them. I'll drop some of the ones that I watch regularly in my comments here, just so you guys know who I'm watching. Not that it matters that much, but it's cool, and I like being able to find more of this content, and I'm sure that there's people out there that I'm not watching who have a cool take on this. I don't think that what I'm doing is forced positivity. I think I've been very positive about the show, but I'll also call out things when I see them that I don't love, mostly because I can't help myself. But, that's how you know that I'm being honest. Yeah, honesty is going to imply criticism, especially for me. I'm not generally I'm like not Mr. Positive about a lot of stuff. But, I think I've been pretty positive about this show. I'm really enjoying it, certainly. So anytime I'm ever like, that's not how it is in the book, don't look at that as a criticism so much as just an inescapable knee-jerk reaction on my part. Because they're hitting my, reflex muscles, and I can't help it. I'm interested to see where this season's going to end, because as we've heard, if this is going to be a mixture of books 2 and books 3, there are like huge things, separate obviously because they're different books, that happen at the end of each of those books. And I'm kind of wondering at this point, if could it be possible that both of those things are going to happen simultaneously on this show? And is that why half of our cast is still on the wrong side of the continent in Karheim? I think it's an interesting theory. I hope they don't make substantial changes to the location of certain items. For example, a specific sword. I don't think that's any kind of spoiler to just say it that way. But otherwise, we're not terribly far from where we would need to go to end that storyline as well, even though we've done no talking about it. That would be the weird thing to me, if that somehow made it into the end of this season, and I'm talking about the end of book 3, obviously. If that somehow got dovetailed into the end of the season when we haven't talked about that prophecy at all, that would be interesting. And it, you know, it would maybe be a little hurried. So maybe that'll be next season. And maybe we'll get elements of book 3 and book 4 next season. You know, that kind of thing. Because, you know, they can do whatever they want. You know, Moiraine's sister's on the show, guys. So, you know, they can do whatever they want. Let me see. Oh, another thing. I don't feel like I've been calling out some of the people who are doing some really great acting enough. For example, the guy who's playing Ishamael is just fantastic. He kills it every second. I can't help but think of System of a Down every time I see him. But, you know, people are going to look alike. And his portrayal has been great. It's been great. And I think the writing and stuff behind his character has been really good so far, too. Because you're seeing elements of what those of us as book readers know about him. But they're not beating you over the head with it. It's just a all-around great portrayal. Okay, obviously I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here, and I really just want to watch. So I'm going to go ahead and watch. Hopefully I can just go ahead and edit this as soon as I'm done watching. Because work is about to get complicated. But I think I should drop this, hopefully today, which is Sunday. Otherwise... Oh, I did go to the Cincy Comic Expo yesterday, Cincinnati Comic Expo. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Sort of felt like some of it, the prices had maybe gone up. I'm not sure, but I went to the London Film and Comic Con obviously in London a couple months ago in July, and I felt that one felt more affordable than the Comic Con in Cincinnati, which is where I live, and that's kind of crazy. That's wild. Actually, you know, like London's like a world capital. Everything there should be more expensive than it, but I don't know. Comic-Cons can be interesting, right? But I had a good time overall. I mean, it's always a good time because it's, you know, all the people who go to Comic-Cons are the reason you want to go to a Comic-Con. Obviously, the businesses in charge are shady as anything else. All right, now that I've got my off-topic stuff in, let's just do it. I want to watch the show. Though I didn't see any Wheel of Time stuff at Comic-Con. That did, you know, now that I'm throwing that out there. That's a little upsetting. That's kind of sad. Maybe I'll do something for Wheel of Time for next Comic-Con I go to.
Who are you? Rhyme of the Yellow Aja. Do you have any idea what these
We're showing Rhyma in the preview, huh?
Call her.
Oh, Egwene. Oh, this is not going to be a good time for you. Is that where we are? Yep. Yep.
How did you? You cannot hurt me. Disagree, but I believe in cultivating.
Oh my god, these noises in the background are getting to me.
What's your name?
Like, the noises are disturbing enough, but if you know what's going on here, it could be anything. I mean, it could be anything these women are going through.
I will have to hurt you until you tell me. So, soon your training begins.
Yeah, that's... if you'd believe it, I would argue she's almost being a little too sympathetic for a Soldam. Like the best the Soldam are said to treat Damane. Like I said, the best that Soldam are described as treating Damane in the books are like a dog. You know, like a dog that they like. Ooh, this is gonna be a rough episode, I think, guys.
Not Celine anymore. You, of all people, should know the importance of the name they choose.
That is a hell of an outfit. I'm getting over the white thing, guys. I'm getting over it. But
What makes you think you can't trust me?
because that is a killer fucking outfit.
These past few months, keeping a Charmiel out of your dreams.
Phew, man, he's gotten stacked.
Tell me where Charmel is. Tell me what he's planning.
Look at that. There isn't a loose.
This is some good land fear. We did all want more Matt. Oh man, her hair looks killer. There are so many aspects of this show like that. It's like, it's not material to what's going on, but I just have to comment on it.
I'm not pacing.
Black Aja.
Yep.
It cannot be.
That would be the logical conclusion if she's a dark friend. Though a lot of the Aes Sedai are in
If what you say
denial about it.
Sorry I left you so long. First one's free.
Ooh.
Try it again and I'll flay you alive and feed you to your boy.
How did you?
I visited your dreams. Mostly for my own entertainment and back. It's impossible. But there are many paths to walk through the night.
I don't feel bad for Liandrin. I don't. Oh, we're gonna get to see Tree singing. This should be cool. Okay, I can deal with this. I don't know, I can't tell you exactly how I would have myself.
Moiraine. Now. Pour me a
God,
glass of water.
the noises, I just, in these headphones, it's,
Spirited. I can feel your power in the Adam even now.
and Rena's described as bad, but like, definitely not the worst
See,
of the
strongest
Soldam.
Damane are the hardest to break.
And I promise you, I'll take away your curse.
And if I don't?
They're doing Teleran Riyadh pretty well now. And I like that we all know what it is now, so the exposition's out of the way, and they can just mind screw with you like that. And there's going to be some Inception shit going on from this point forward, guys.
Somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep.
I'm a little cautious about this last storyline with Matt and all that, just because it's
Shelter, shelter.
brand new to me, so I can't help but be cautious about it.
Weaves the sages forgotten.
They were the generals of the Dark One's army. The things they did, our Aes Sedai would never even consider.
They can't
willing to do changes,
possibly think
depending on what we're faced with.
Lan is a dark friend. They can't possibly think that. Of all the people in the world, they can't possibly think Lan is a dark friend.
You know that, right? Men who can chant, they lose their minds. And eventually kill everyone they love.
Did he just warp between... I have to go back and watch that again. Did it change from, like, him being...
You know that, right? Men who can chant, they lose their minds.
Yes! Oh my god, that's so good!
They love.
Oh.
I told you I was protecting you from him.
It's just all her.
Careful in the dream world.
It's all her, Rand.
You can die here. Oh, is there anyone you'd like to see?
Oh.
Egwene? Egwene?
Okay.
Egwene.
I've got the chills a little bit. So it looks like we're going with the end of book 2. Now, the mistake there, Rand, would be letting her know that that's the person you care about the most in the world. That would... It's a pretty big mistake.
Rich, just... Please. Tell me where she is. Tell me!
Ishamael has her.
This is some good acting on both their parts. I can't say that I like this more than the path Rand takes in the books, but it works. It works. It's going to get us there. Egwene.
I'm losing it. Come on. Pull yourself together.
She really does start to lose it.
Girls, I've just spoken to a ship's captain here I trust. He will take you to the tower. News like this...
A ship captain we trust.
You must go and tell the Amelin Seat about Leanne Ritson.
Tell her yourself. Not leaving without Egwene.
Basan and I will...
I apologize, but I think you've underestimated both this situation and the two of us. Neither Nynaeve or I are leaving this city until Egwene is with us.
Ah, God, she's the perfect Elaine, guys. She's the perfect Elaine.
Give it here.
Again, interesting Barthanes.
I'm sorry for intruding.
But I wonder how different he really is. He is Karhainen, after all. Oh, here it goes. Is the mask going to drop now?
You're right. As always. It's worth a try, though.
I know you never cared for me.
Okay.
But you loved him. You always loved him. What was so important, Moiraine?
And that's true to the books, too. Moiraine says that she loved her father and that he was kind of an odd duck for their family. He wasn't a bad guy, and most of her family is bad people.
I want you.
Moiraine, she just told you you've become your mother. The ultimate cut.
I'm Mom, and I want to shoot down everything you say so I feel good about myself.
Look who's ragging on the old lady. Hey.
I'm an uptight buster. You old horny slut!
Well, no one's gonna top that.
Oh, tears are gone from her cheeks. Continuity, come on. I might leave that complaint in there just for all you guys who thought I was being too shitty last week.
You know, he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
Oh, finally! I, honest to God, didn't think she was going to be in this season at this point. I was like, well, maybe they just didn't feel like paying her. The Amerlin seat is traveling with 2 guards? Still, she would have, like, a small army with her traveling. But I guess, you know, you don't want to pay the extras.
It's Moiraine.
Would I rather they had 200 extras or these badass costumes? I'd rather they had the badass costumes. So,
Well, then the Aes Sedai censored you. And now your only chance of making a difference is me.
Oof. Oof, what a shot. Varro.
Embrace this horse. Yours. Don't pretend you double hide. If you want power, you take it.
I just really want him to just be Logain and not Tame. Tame needs to be a different character. Like, so badly I need Tame to be a different character.
Too much.
Oof. You can kill yourself like that.
Cannot imagine that it's very easy to part with all your money. So this time we are going for...
He just happens to find Matt. Again, I liked the old actor's job. I thought he did a great job last season. But I like this guy even more.
Light's name are you doing in Kyrian?
What in Light's name are you doing in Kyrian? And where is your hair? Mate, you look bloody awful.
Where's everyone else? Are they here? Where's Perry?
And one was taken.
They call it an Aes Sedai.
Not just an Aes Sedai. A sitter of the Blue Aja.
Ooh.
You were close. My sisters and I did not always agree, but there was no question of our loyalty to one another and to our purpose.
This episode's giving me a lot of chills. I mean, it's about slavery, so...
Paid for it with their lives.
You can't remove it.
She looks like
You can't
hell.
touch it without unbelievable pain. You know this.
Ah, she's got a detached retina.
You are not a woman. You are a demone, and a powerful one.
Yeah, that's how they look at
I
it.
hope they told you at your White Tower just how special you are.
I mean, this is how, you know, breaking people and enslaving them works. You know, you have to... At a certain point, either they have to start listening to you or you're gonna kill them.
Make it so hot against steam. Now turn that steam into fire. This is the power we are meant to wield, Egwene. Did you feel it? Our affinity?
I need to remember to talk about strength and the power at the end of this. And growth of your strength and the power. Remember, in order to touch the pitcher, she has to convince herself that she would never, ever hit her with it. Not under any circumstances. Entirely unnecessary, because she can make her feel literally any feeling through the Adam. In the books, she makes her feel like she's in boiling water up to her neck at points.
The Amelin needs to know about the entrance.
So, like, there's no reason to need to physically attack her, but I guess you can't necessarily show what she's feeling.
Why are you risking it?
Matt can identify with that.
We're not better off without you, Ran. Promise you that.
We're not better off without you either, man.
Yeah, why'd you have to get in that contract dispute?
But now he has her.
So what happens here?
An hour. I will be there.
They've got, I mean, I'll give them this. They've got me on pins and needles about this stuff that I don't know.
He's here.
You can't go.
That wouldn't change anything, though.
I saw it.
Men's visions always happen. They always happen.
I've already told you.
It would just be unfortunate if they changed her visions that way. Because it also, they haven't explained the root of her powers yet, but there's an explainable mechanism for what she sees. God, keep waiting for this mask to drop. But maybe it's not a mask. Maybe Barthanet's is just a good guy in this universe.
In Karen, with 14 Aes Sedai, and she's demanded an audience with you.
With 14 Aes Sedai? That's overkill. 13 Aes Sedai can shield any channeler ever. I am glad she's in this season. I was really missing her. I'm withholding judgment. Momentarily. You gotta give a little at some point, Egwene.
Yes.
This is not how it happens to Rima in the books. But this is badass. She's just kind of an offhand character in the books. This is making her a much more important figure. Like, if you'd read the books and you got told, oh, you're cast as Rima, you might be like, oh, that kind of, it's cool, I'm in it, but this is like a really cool part for Rima. I haven't even thought about it before now, but we haven't seen any Gralm or anything yet. Not even a Shreddit. Which, if you're not aware, a Shreddit is an elephant. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, wow, Rima. God. Definitely the most brutal episode of this show so far. Ah, Rima.
It will never be a weapon. You can never hurt me. You will never leave me.
Yeah, I mean, she has to accept it.
Good girl.
Oh man, this episode's a lot. It's pretty much what I expected it to be, but yeah. I'm assuming that's Pura is the name they give her. Wow. Boy. Oh. I feel like that's the first breath I've taken in 10 minutes. Well, that one got to me. That one got to me. Yeah. I mean, that's mostly what I expected that episode to be. Again, it's really easy to see where the changes come from, for the most part, on this show. The ones that I can't figure out where they're coming from, those are the ones I keep talking about and I keep bringing back up because I'm still trying to figure them out. But a few of those issues that I've had in the past have already been resolved as I've continued watching the show. So I know there's an element of, wait for it. But at the same time, great episode for the actress playing Egwene. That one's going on her reel for sure. I think the woman playing Rena is doing a good job, but as I said, she might almost be a little too sympathetic. But that might just be on her play of how you would treat a misbehaving dog, an animal that doesn't know better. That's how she views Egwene. And there are points in the books where she's praising her, and it's very obvious. It might even be more obvious when she's praising her than when she's, treating her harshly as she is in this episode. That, she doesn't really look at her as being completely human, even. Which she says. She says that multiple times in this episode. I think they did a good job of showing just how inhumane the Shan-Chan are towards the people in the lower castes of their society. And, that runs straight through the society. They're pretty rough. The Shan-Chan structure exists in a very ritualized, structured caste system. And obviously on the very bottom are women who can channel. The absolute bottom. They're not even seen as human. They're animals to be bought and sold. And then you have property. So that's human beings as slaves. Above that, Damane are also considered property. But they're not property, normal people who can't channel, who are slaves in Shan-Chan culture, are not as low, they're not as looked down upon as Damane. Damane are the lowest rung of Shan-Chan society. And, then there'd be slaves above that, because they don't really have servants, paid servants. There are hereditary servants in Shan-Chan society. But they don't have paid servants. They just use slaves. And slavery is a caste. So if you are made a slave, your children will be slaves, and their children will be slaves. It's inherited. I know I said I wanted to talk about the power, and training it and gaining it, and that's because what the Shan-Chan are doing in that scene where she's teaching her to light the tree on fire. What the Shan-Chan are doing there with Egwene is something called forcing. So men and women, as they get older, they gain strength and the power to a certain extent. It's kind of like, puberty. Like they, once they start using the power, it's a small amount. And then for a while, they continually get stronger. And for women, it's typically a gradual climb. A fairly slow and steady gradual climb until you reach your peak. For men, it's like growth spurts. So they'll, start at a baseline, and then every now and then they'll just get a bunch more powerful. They'll do something where they break the limits on their old, level of power or whatever it is, and they access a deeper well of power. And they do it in spits, or, in spurts. And it's not regular. And so it's also hard to judge how powerful a man is going to be in the long run, because since the climb isn't gradual, since it's jumps, it's much harder to estimate his eventual level of strength. And again, with women, since it's gradual, once you get an idea of how powerful a woman is, and if you've been around her for a little while and you're watching her gain power, you can generally judge her eventual potential. But yeah, so what the Shan-Chan are doing to Egwene is called forcing. And so they're basically forcing her to access more of the power than she's comfortable using at the moment. And they're pretty much forcing her to grow her abilities with the power like a man. So instead of the natural gradual incline, they're going to be teaching her to use the power in ways, and they're going to be forcing her to use the power in ways and an amount of the power that forces her the amount of power she can use to get larger much faster than it should be. And so in the power structure of things, Nynaeve is still going to be the strongest female channeler on the board. Except, well, I suppose with the exception of Lanfear. But, Egwene now is going to be catching up with this extremely unfortunate training she's getting from the Shan-Chan. Because, again, they are forcing her. They're making her do more than is safe. She could kill herself. She could burn the power out of herself and be stilled like Moiraine is. There's a lot of bad things that could happen with how they do this. And I said I don't do this because, the novices are a commodity that they don't have enough of, because the Aes Sedai don't really do a very good job of traveling around and finding women who can channel and bringing them in. They just kind of do a piss poor job of it. And the Shan-Chan, obviously, it's like a full-time job. They have, secret police, Stasi, running around that all they do is look for women who can channel all the time. And they have women who can channel who are damane, who've been trained, walking around all their cities all the time, feeling for women using the power. So it's a very, very, tight police state in the Shan-Chan Empire. Oh, again, Logain, killing it. I knew he would. Actor's fan-freaking-tastic. That guy can convey more with his face than most actors do in 10 minutes of dialogue. I think he's so good. And the same with, like I said before, Ishamael. I also thought Rand and Lanfear were really showing off their acting chops this episode. I think the woman they have playing Lanfear also has a very expressive face. I think she's doing a lot with her eyes. She's, there's that moment when Rand, reveals that the one person in the world he would rather see at that moment is Egwene. It's a different woman. It's not her. And you can see, there's like, her eyes just barely flinch for a second, you know, like it hurts her. You can see that it hurts her that he loves somebody else. And number one, Rand, you need to get over that shit because you're going to get her killed. Lanfear does not fuck around. You cannot let Lanfear think that Rand's in love with somebody. You can't. It's too dangerous. But as a method of moving the storyline forward and getting everybody headed towards Falm, love it. All on board. Because I was wondering, you know, is this going to be two different endings from two different books? And it looks like we're getting the ending of book 2, which I think is good. I think that's hugely important. I think it would have been a mistake to try and shoehorn in the end of book 3 as well at this point. And they hadn't done any groundwork for it. So I guess it was a little unearned on my part to continue assuming that, you know, that was the issue. But, I mean, if you look at the... Let's see if I can... If you look at the map, right? I'm just going to make the map real big for a second. This is probably going to look like crap, but it's just going to be really rough. So, Carhine's way over here. Okay? Falma is right here. You almost can't go further apart. I mean, like Mayene and Saldia would be about the only place you're going where you got a further distance to travel than from Carhine to Falma. So we've got to assume there's going to be some sort of funny business to get them from here to here. And there's been plenty of use of the ways so far, so we could obviously already do that. But you never know. Maybe we'll see something else. I am so incompetent in all of this, guys. And I'm well aware of it, okay? Alright, it's embarrassing how long that took, but... let's hope I at least use that clip. I guess I'm going to go ahead and get editing, guys, and hopefully I'll get this up pretty soon. Till next time, companions.